You ever looked at how many settings there are available on a Facebook business page? Wow! In this Facebook business page settings tutorial, we'll run through all the settings so you know which ones are important and how to set them, as well as which ones you can probably ignore. All right, let's get into it. What's up, busy people? Welcome to 5-Minute Social Media. If you are struggling or feeling lost with your social media marketing, maybe you feel like you're putting all this time into it and you're wondering, am I getting anything in return? You're in a great place. Every week we put out a quick video to help you with a different piece of your digital marketing strategy. That sounds like something you could use? Take a second, hit subscribe, click that bell, and that way you'll be notified whenever a new video comes out. My name is Jerry Potter, and this week we are talking about Facebook business page settings. Unfortunately, the settings of your Facebook business page can get a little overwhelming, especially considering how often they change them. By the end of this video, you'll know what each section of the Facebook settings is for, as well as how to set it up for your business. These are the settings that I use for myself and for all of my agency clients. Now, before I start, your settings might look a little different than what I show you in the video. Sometimes it varies by country, by type of page, type of business. So if by the end I don't answer one of your questions, by all means leave me a comment down below and I can answer your question there. Also, because there are so many settings, I'm going to rush through some of them, but I'm also going to slow down for the important ones. But the great thing is this is also video, so if by all means you miss something, you can pause and rewind to your heart's content.
So from your business page, you want to click Settings in the upper right corner here. That will take you to this massive page of settings. So over here on the left, each one of these is a different header menu, and then as you click on them, the things on the right will change. So we'll start here at the top under General. Page visibility just shows if your page is published or not. Visitor posts. This is where you can go through and decide if you want to allow people to post on your page or not, or if you want them to be able to post, but you want to approve them first. If that was the case, you would click Review Posts by Other People. Now, I've actually done this for a lot of our agency pages because for some reason, notifications don't always work when other people post. So I click this just so that I automatically get a notification if somebody posts on one of my client pages, then I can review it and reply to it at the same time. Under that is reviews. You can turn off reviews on your page. Some people with bad reputations tend to do that. Although in this day and age, I think if you don't have reviews on your page, it looks a little suspicious. Post and story sharing. This means that anyone on Facebook can share your stories, posts, or events to their own stories. So that's one of the newer features now that Facebook Stories is getting bigger and bigger. You still get credit when they do share it. I don't see any reason not to have that on. Audience optimization. This is a feature you can turn on, and then when you put a post up, you can try and specify the audience that sees it. Now, if you're just trying to reach a certain audience, it doesn't work very well. But if you are trying to restrict the audience from seeing a certain post, for example, a certain age or gender, then you could check that and you would have that feature at the bottom of each post when you put it up. Messages, this is whether or not you want to have the message button showing on your page. I do have one client who is a personal brand and he doesn't have time to reply to a lot of messages, so we actually have that turned off for him. I've encouraged him that we should have it turned on, but if he's not going to bother to reply and he doesn't want to let anybody else reply, then we might as well leave it off. Tagging ability, this is to determine whether or not someone else can tag the photos and videos on your page. I have it unchecked. I don't post a lot of things where I want somebody to be able to tag themselves in a photo, but if you do a lot of events, you may want that checked. Others tagging this page, you want this checked so other people can tag your page in their posts. Page location for effects, this is exactly what it says it is. It allows other people to use your page as a location for frames and effects if they create them. Those are the frames and pictures that go around a profile picture or a live video or a story. Country restrictions, can you see it in all countries or not? Age restrictions is self-explanatory. Page moderation. If certain words get used, you can block them by typing them in here. Profanity filter. If you want to automatically hide comments where people might use profanity, you can turn this on either medium or strong. Similar page suggestions is just, do you want your page recommended to other people? Page updates. These are automatic posts. So if you change the caption on a cover photo or change your cover photo or things like that, it will automatically publish it to your feed. You can now write posts posts in multiple languages. You can enable that if you want. You can have them automatically translated. Of course, the accuracy is certainly up for debate. Comment ranking. This is how comments are shown on your posts. So by default, most relevant comments are there. Usually those are the ones that get the most engagement or the most likes. So if somebody browses your comments, they'll theoretically see the best comments first. That's why I have that checked. Content distribution. In some countries, you can actually download Facebook videos the way you can download a Facebook photo. If you don't want that to be possible, then click prohibit downloading to Facebook. And then these last three are just kind of to manage your pages. You can download everything that you've ever posted on your page there. Merging would be if you found an extra page that you think represents your business, you can try and merge them. And remove pages, of course, to delete your page entirely. Don't worry, this general is the longest tab. Let's go on to messaging. These are pretty self-explanatory. If you want to just hit return or enter to send the message, you can turn that on if you don't want to use paragraphs. Sometimes I send longer messages, so I actually have that off. If you want the little box to pop up to prompt people to send you messages when they visit your page, you can have this turned on. Help people start a conversation with your page. This is where you can put in frequently asked questions to make it easier for people to start a conversation with your business. I intend to turn this on my page. I just haven't had the chance to set up the questions yet. If you're going to do it, make the questions relevant. So turn it on, click change. And now you can see down here are the default questions. So where are you located? Like I've had people send me that, and I'm not a brick and mortar business, so it's kind of pointless. Are you available to chat? Can you tell me more about yourself? So you can make these whatever you want and have them pop up. So you can definitely use that as a strategic tool to start conversations and possibly convert people into becoming a customer. Response Assistant, these are all to help your page respond better. Send instant replies. If you have a page that you only check messages once per day, kind of like you might treat an email account, then you might want to turn this on and you can say, thanks for messaging us. We will get back to you within 1 business day, for example. Show response time. If you turn this on, it will automatically set the response time, or you can choose when you will respond. People will be much less frustrated if you give them an idea of when they will hear back from you. So that's good to set up. I have mine just kind of set up automatically. If you sometimes have your page open and you reply right away, then when your page is not open, you can turn this on and add a special message for when, again, you're not sitting right there. And the messenger greeting. For some of my restaurant clients, we have this turned on. It says, hey, if you need something urgent, please call us at this phone number. Otherwise, send us a message and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And down here is appointment messaging. This is relatively new. You can create appointments within Messenger now, and then you can send them automatic reminders when it's time for their appointment or the day before, as well as a follow-up message a couple of weeks after their appointment, for example, if you wanted them to book again. Page info, this is the same thing you get if you click About on the front page. You can go through and change all of your page info, addresses and costs and all sorts of different things. Templates and tabs. This is where you're going to actually change the look of your page a decent bit. And in fact, if you have a different template here, you might see some different settings than what I'm showing you. But you can go in here and you can choose a template that best fits what you're doing. So I have business here. There's also services, venues, nonprofit, politicians. You can choose a category. And what that does is it chooses what is going to show up in your tabs. And those are the things that show over on the left side of your page. You can have tabs turned on by default, or you can come down to each one of these and change the settings. For some of them, let's say you wanted to link right to your posts. If I click settings on posts, it gives me a URL that goes right to my posts that I can share somewhere. For others, like reviews, this is another place you can turn reviews on and off. Groups is another one that can be turned on and off. So some of them can be turned on and off. Some of them can't. You have to have a posts and about some of those tabs. The other thing you can change here is what order you want everything to show up in. So if I drag and drop these, as you can see, I can move them around. And then not only do they update the way they show on the left side of the page, but it also changes the order they show up in when somebody visits your page. So you might want them to see your photos closer to the top, or events if you do a lot of events. Post attribution, this is whether you want to post or reply to things as yourself or as your brand. In this case, my business page is the same name as my personal profile, so it's a little confusing and weird there. Notifications, this is when you decide what you want to be notified by. If your page is busy and you get a lot of notifications, I strongly suggest you go through these and turn off some of them. For example, do you need to know every time somebody likes your page? Probably not. Or likes a page post? Probably not, unless she gives you that warm, fuzzy feeling, and then by all means, you can keep it. But this is a great way to cut down on your unnecessary notifications. Messenger platform, a lot of this has to do with third-party programs that access Messenger for you or control your chat box, different things like that. So I would reference the third-party software for a lot of this stuff. I do want to show you a couple things in here really quick. If you want somebody to message you directly, you can have this direct link here and they can message you just from anywhere. You can put that on an app, on a flyer, in a text message, anything like that. And then this is also neat. You can actually add a customer chat plugin to your website. So if you get a lot of people to your website, you can have a tiny box in the lower right-hand corner that will pop up and people can immediately start chatting with you there. So if you click setup and follow these steps, assuming you have some idea what you're doing with your website, you can set it up relatively easily. If your site is built on WordPress, there's actually a free plugin from Facebook that makes it even easier to install. Page roles, this is who has access to your page as well as what level of access they have. I've got a video that explains more about the different page roles, and I'll link to that in the description of this video. Groups is all about any groups that are linked to your page. This is where if you've given somebody access to your page, but you don't want them to have access to your group, you can remove them. People in other pages, this is where it shows all the people that have liked your page or follow your page. So you can select the list here, people who like the page, follow the page, pages that like this page, and then banned people and pages. I don't think I have anybody banned. No, I don't. If you were to block somebody or just make them unlike the page, this is where you would do it. So you would find them in the list, and there's a search bar here too. And no offense to Marilyn here, but if I click on that, then I click on the gear here, I can go through, I can remove them from liking the page. That means they could come back later and like it or follow it. Or I can ban them completely, which means they can't post, comment, or take any other actions on the page. Preferred page audience doesn't exist anymore, but some of those settings are under general, like we showed you before. Authorizations, this is where you would be able to set it up so that you could run ads related to politics. Branded content, this is where if you were an influencer and you were doing a paid post for somebody, you have to claim that for the Federal Trade Commission for it to be legal, and this is where you would set that up. Instagram, this is where you would manage your Instagram business profile, assuming it's connected to your page. You can actually go through and edit your profile right here on Facebook. Featured, if you have liked other pages as your page, then you can choose the ones here that you want to be featured when people visit your page. Cross-posting, sometimes if you're doing something with somebody else, the two pages can both, or more than two pages, can both post the video on each other's behalf. So you would set that up here. And that way, let's say one page got 3,000 views on the video and the other page would have gotten 5,000. Well, by cross-posting, the video views are combined, so you'd get 8,000 views between them. Page support inbox, if you contact Facebook or anything like that, this is where you would hear back from them. Appointment settings, again, this is new. This is part of Messenger, but if you used that at all, this is where you would do that. Linked publications, this is new, as you can see from the top of the screen here. But if you write articles, then you can set it up here so that they could actually link to your Facebook page from your byline. And finally, activity log. This just goes through and shows everything that happens. I'll tell you the one thing that never shows up here. If you delete a post, it is gone. But otherwise, if you're trying to figure out what happened to something, if you hid something or anything like that, you'll find it here on the activity log.
All right, do you have a question about settings that I didn't cover? Let me know down in the comments and I can help you out there. Or join our free Facebook group. Just search 5 Minute Social Media on Facebook. Also, this might be helpful to you, our free 5-minute Facebook facelift. It's a quick makeover for your Facebook page to make sure that it is optimized the best way possible. And this goes into some things on your homepage, not just in the settings like we did in this video. If you'd like that, it's in the description down below. If you made it this far, I hope you got something out of this video. Give it a like, click subscribe. You're not only supporting me at 5 Minute Social Media, but also my two tiny superheroes at home.